This will be the major type chords, the major seventh or the major type chords on the string set 1, 2, 5, 6. That is the top two strings and then the bottom two strings. And these will be on B flat. This chord set is interesting in a couple ways. It doesn't have, just like some of the other ones, it doesn't have a direct correlation and in terms of being repeatable. So it's not like certain chord families where you just move the string relationship over and you have a duplicate. But it does have some similarities to other more familiar chords in a couple ways. Makes it interesting. For example, this chord set, if we do a big major seventh on this, and we're going to do this chord B flat, F, A, and D as one starting point. Now, if we notice, it's the same as the top four. So it's this: B flat, F, A, and D. Only we take the B flat and F and move it down an octave. Same here. D, A, B flat, F becomes D, A, B flat, F, like that. And if you notice, you get a nice big fifths, very resonant. And if we continue, it works the same way with this chord, which is F, B flat, D. So we just replace F, B flat, D, and A. And then we do the same here. A and D go down. A, D, F, and B flat. That's the first type. The second type is the straight up and down root third, fifth, and seventh. So if we notice, we could just by exchanging these two, we can do B flat, or the top voices, B flat, D, F, and A. So instead of A, D, F, and B flat, we just exchange the top and bottom strings for each other. And then, of course, we do it again. We get third, fifth, seventh, and root, D, F, A, and B flat. Very nice. And then here, F, A, B flat, and D. And that can move to C, just as on this one, the B flat moved to C is an embellishment. Or it can move to a G, D, G, F, and B flat. Or we'll come back to this one, nice species of chord, D, G, A, and B flat, like an added 2 chord on G minor. But we'll come back to that. Here as well, you'll have this F, A, B flat, and D, but also A, B flat, D, and F. Really beautiful chord. And if we can exchange the voice on that, it's nice if you take the D to G. So you have, if you take the D down to C, so you have A, B flat, C, and F, and maybe move the top voice to G as well. So those are the basic inversions. Now, if we take the first type, the second type, B flat, D, F, and A, we start to see what's available. And of course, we can let go of the F and make it E. We can bring it up to G. So we have B flat, D, G, and A. And B flat, D, E, and A. We can move downwards first. So we have B flat, D, E, and G. And maybe if we want to stretch, B flat, D, E, and F. We can move the top voice and some of the other voices. For instance, we can move B flat, D, F, and C, or B flat, D, E, and C. That's a nice sound. Okay. Now, moving further back this direction, we can move the voice on the A string. So if we have this, and we want to start to move to a B flat, C, D, and A, that's a nice chord. Move the D to E, B flat, C, E, and A, and maybe make that a G. We have a C chord on top of a B flat, which is nice. B flat, C, E, and G. Now, coming back to this original voicing, if we move that to E, that F, and we exchange it for a bottom voice, we have B flat, F, E, and A, that's a nice chord. We can move that up to C. So we have B flat, F, E, and C. Okay. Now moving further downwards, instead of D and C, we can move the note on the A string up to E. So we have B flat, E, D, and G. It's a nice chord. Move maybe the top voice to A. And if we want to stretch, we can move the top voice to C, which is probably a little easier on some of the higher sets or some of the higher keys, you know. But that's a nice chord. B flat, E, D, and C, moving down to the A and the G. Okay. Now to go a little more across the guitar, we can start to work on this idea, which was the B flat, F, A, and D. So we can move across, move the top voice, and the note on the B string as well. So we have these fifthsy sort of sounds: B flat, F, G, and C, which is okay. B flat, F, G, and A, going slightly backwards. That's nice. You can tell half-step relationships are interesting because you have free reign in terms of the voice motion. It's very easily. You can move the voices very easily on these chord sets. Moving again, all fifths, B flat, F, G, and D. Okay, going across, B flat, G, A, and D. B flat, F, A, and C, which is like an F chord over a B flat. Now moving ahead, I'll move this up. I'll move to a C, C, F, B flat, and D. And I can exchange voices, so I can move to a D, F, B flat, and C. So the top two voices can move and exchange for each other, D and C, which is nice. And then maybe we can add an E on top of that. So we have a B flat chord with an E on top, D, F, B flat, and E. Going to this next voicing right here, which is D, A, B flat, and F. We can move the voices back. So we can move the F down to C. Okay. If we go back to this, we can move the B flat up to C, which is like a D minor 7 chord. And again, the D minor and the G minor here will relate to B flat, obviously. And we saw that with this chord, which was D, G, A, and B flat. Be the same way on up. We can move this up to G, D, A, C, and G, so we can get a glimpse into the minor chords. Also move that to an E, that top voice, D, A, C, and E. This voice as well, D, A, B flat, and E is okay. Now we can start to exchange voices as well, or if we want to stretch, here's a C, G, B flat, and F. Can move it up to B flat as well, C, G, A, or that's a nice move. So C, A, B flat, F, moving up to its original position. Moving the bottom voice up to E is nice. E, A, B flat, and F can go to G and exchange voices. E, B flat, A, and F. Now we can do the same thing in this position. So we can take these voicings. So this one right here, we can exchange the F and go backwards. F, B flat, A, and D. That's a nice voicing. And again, very supple for modulations. So we'll find that that works very well. Now F, B flat, C, and D. Again, related to this chord. So a few of these voicings can be planed. You know, they can be moved straight up and down and made to work that way. And we'll elaborate on that. The next one, coming across, we can use the D, the B flat, A, and F. That's a nice voicing. And then a C and a G on top. D, B flat, A, and C, and G. Move the A to C. D, B flat, C, and G. Now, building on this idea, F, B flat, C, and D, we can then exchange the voices one more time and get straight across, which is another one of those voicings that works well being moved. Just like this, if we look, we saw that one earlier. So now we have D, B flat, C, and F. Very easy to finger. easy for modulations again, even easy for this sort of thing. Coming right up now, F, B flat, D, and E. So we just moved the top two notes on the top two string. We just kind of planed them upwards. Okay, so that's fine as well. Now moving to this voicing, F, B flat, D, and A. The top voice can move to G. The top voice again can move down to E. Now we can put a C up on the A string and move the top voice to a B flat. So that's a nice move. So we have this sort of F, C, D, B flat. Can move the top voice just to a C, or excuse me, on the B string, F, B flat, C, and A, and then move to G. Very nice, works well, and it has, you know, a relational effect. It's a nice effect going forward, and then you can hear that they all have that sort of a sound, that B flat sound. F, B flat, E, and A. Now, if we move the bottom voice to G, we have our, instead of the D minor sound that we had here, the D, F, G, and C, excuse me, G and F, we sort of have that on G minor. That relates to this as well, the B flat. So G, B flat, C, and A. Make it D and A on the top. Okay. Moving forward, G, D, C, and A, and maybe a B flat on top. Another one of those movable voicings. So G, D, C, and A. Top voice goes to B flat. If we notice, we can plane it down to F, C, B flat, and G. And then we can move that down to C, we saw earlier. C, G, F, and D. Moving down to where we had it earlier, B flat, F, E, and C. So it has that planed sound. Now this sound as well, F, D, E, and A, coming from this. That works, this B flat sound. Again, along with the G. Now we're going to go up to the A in the bass. And we said earlier, A, B flat, C, and F for a closed voicing in the lower region. A, D, F, and B flat. And that can move to a C. So A, D, F, and C sort of looks like a G minor as D minor. And again, it's another plainable voicing. It all sounds like a B flat chord. Also, along with this, A, F, C, G and C, and then move the top voice to D. A, F, G, and D. Another plainable voicing. So it sounds really good and still has the sound of the B flat chord. Again, here is the fourths in the bass sort of voicing. So we have this G, C, E, and F, and we can exchange up top. For E and F can go to C and A, up to the B flat. And again, this is one of those voicings that can be planed. C, F, A, and B flat. C, F, G, and A. A, D, F, and G. A, D, E, and F. Down to the D minor chord. So it has, for each one of those, we have a plainable voicing in that region. You can see there are so many opportunities, harmonic opportunities here. I mean, the chords really move well. Okay. So those are the B flat chords in major on 1, 2, 5, and 6. Those are just the basic overview of some of the possibilities, which we'll elaborate on.